Hello, everyone. Well, good evening from the UK here. So, good afternoon, anyone tuning in from the US. We have a very, very special edition of our 9-ball loose pool because we are joined by the one and only Shane Van Boening, SVB. How are you?
I'm good. I hope everybody's good there.
All good our end. We're at Championship League snooker. Just sitting here watching the matches roll on and off. But yeah, I think it's a special one for us because, look, we made a huge announcement yesterday. The SVB Junior Open. Shane, obviously, you and I have been in talks about this for a little while, and it's something that we've been working on for quite some time. It's just a very good opportunity right now to talk to your fans and to talk to everyone about this event. And what the plans are and what we see progressing, really. You there?
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, we can hear you. You just cut out
For some reason, I cut off on the internet for some reason. All right, I'm back.
You're back. So, look, we've been lots of talks about the SVB Junior Open. So it's something that we've been working on for quite some time. You and I, we've been having some chats back and forth about it. This is a really good opportunity for you to talk to the fans and just explain, what your ideas are behind it, your passion behind the event, really. So here's your time, really.
I think it would be great to see the juniors to interact with all the best pool players from all over the world. It'd be a great experience to have the juniors seeing what all the best pool players are in the world is all about and see how they play. It'd be a great learning experience as well for all the juniors. After all the response that we have from yesterday, there's so many juniors that want to attend to the Junior Open during the U.S. Open, and I think it's great to see there's so many response and comments that there's a lot of juniors out there that want to play. And I was hoping that maybe we can get a 128 field, but that's something we have to work on for next year.
I know you texted me last night saying, "What about this 128 field?" I was going to bed with like a little mini heart attack, thinking, no, we just need to not run before we can walk. I think one of the main things that we do at Matchroom is if we want to go with it, we will go with something when we're 110% about what we can achieve and what we can actually deliver on. So the SVB Junior Open is capped at 32 players. It is an open fielded event, so anyone can sign up from any age up until 17, which is obviously fantastic. Now, the reason we did cap it at 32 players was because we wanted to actually be able to conduct this event alongside the US Open. I mean, Shane and I were WhatsApping last night saying, future years we'll be getting the downstairs ballroom just featured for a huge Junior Open event. That's the ambition, isn't it, Shane? Just to open this field up as big as we can do it.
I think it's a great idea just to get the juniors more involved with the professional players, and it'll be a great experience as well.
So we've got $10,000 of prize money. The breakdown hasn't been released just yet. So it's 0 entry fee for the juniors. It just didn't feel right to charge an entry fee for them into the event. And I want to say a huge thank you to Q-Tech, who have obviously supported this event, who, a very big partner of yours, Shane. Without them, they've put in half of the prize money, which is fantastic. And from day one of these discussions, they were very sort of keen on ensuring that there was, a large sum for the juniors. But also, you've got the winner gets entry into the US Open 2023. So like what you said, Shane, it's a chance for these junior players to come to an event like the US Open and to potentially be playing on the table next to your match. You could be playing at the US Open in the last 64, for instance, or at a certain stage, and the juniors could be playing their event right next door. How's that going to feel for them? There's no other, they don't get any other experience like that, right?
I don't think there's another tournament that does that, actually. Not that I know of. I've never seen a tournament like that. So, like I said, it's going to be a great experience for the juniors.
So how many questions, how many juniors have you had contacting you saying, how do I even sign up to this? What sort of response have you personally had?
Yesterday, they tried to get an early sign up, and it's just based on whoever can sign up right away. They asked me what the entry fee is. I wasn't too sure yet.
Zero
There's a lot
entry
of
fee.
zero entry fee, which is great. There's just a lot of response that they want to get the spot to go. So we could easily fill it up 128. Unfortunately, we can't do it this year, but this is definitely we're gonna have to try to plan for next year.
I think the most important thing that we need to achieve as well, you know, between Matchroom and you, Shane, is that the one thing that the juniors are not receiving right now is any television coverage. So it's, you know, it's great that I know that Oscar Dominguez does a junior event. I know that Shane Wolford, as father, Corey, does a junior event as well. And I think it's fantastic that people are doing these. What we now need to do is, through the Matchroom channels, is to create this exposure on television. So the great thing about putting this alongside the US Open is that during a US Open coverage, we can show the juniors and the SVB Junior Open within that Sky Sports coverage. And all of a sudden, you know, it's not an event that's a Matchroom event that's like normal, where it's televised live like the US Open, but there is opportunity for these juniors to be featured live on television. I mean, would you have thought that, Shane, that imagine when you were playing when you were younger, that was the opportunity for you? Now all of a sudden it's just totally different.
I mean, when I was younger, I used to watch Earl Strickland play Bucciamani on ESPN. You know, that was my dream, that I wanted to be a professional pool player. And you know, and it's the same opportunity for all the juniors to be at the U.S. Open and see what the top pool players are all about.
Well, that's exactly it. So it's actually running on the 13th and the 14th of October. So the way that this will happen is it will be in the same diamond arena as the US Open. The 256 players will filter down during the US Open, and then our tables will open up and we'll be able to feature the Junior Open alongside. So if anyone is sitting at home wondering how this is going to look, should I come along and watch? 100%. You know, you need to get those entries signed up for the juniors on Friday. But then if you want to come and watch, tickets are available as per the US Open. It's in the same arena. And you get the best of both worlds. You can come potentially watch Shane play, and then be watching the juniors participate as well. So I think our next steps really is just getting that prize money breakdown and the actual tournament overview for the juniors. So I do anticipate this is going to sell out on Friday, and it is, I'm not going to lie, it is very tempting to say, yeah, let's double it already. Let's do 64 players. But I know that the Matchroom team probably might kill me if we did that. But I think it just sets our expectations. And what do you think about moving it? You know, we're in the US, it is open to any junior. What about a European? What about coming over to the UK? Is that something that's in your mind, Shane?
I mean, if it's gonna work. I mean, I think you're gonna have more juniors in the U.S. There's a lot of juniors I know of. There's a lot of juniors in the U.S. I mean, probably talking 300 to 400 or 500 juniors around the whole country. But I don't know what the European market or any other countries as well. But that's something to think about.
And one thing that I guess I never actually asked you myself, we obviously, it's called this event is called the Shane Van Boening Junior Open. Now, we obviously came up with that together, and I think it's personally really exciting. How does that feel for you? Has it quite kind of, I know this is about the juniors, which, you know, this is very passionate for you, and you've been wanting to develop the younger generation and to help them and, you know, start your legacy. How does that feel for you, sort of having an event already named SVB Junior Open? It must
I'm
feel
actually
quite.
I'm actually honored about it, and I'm actually excited about it at the same time. I would like to see the top junior players play and see what their game is all about, and it'll make me think back of when I was younger and see how good I play compared to all the juniors today and see how they play. So I'm just gonna think about, see what the competition is since when I was young and see how they play as well. And I'm looking forward to see how their game plays.
And I think what will be really good is getting all 32 sign-ups who will obviously be attending the event and will be playing in the event. And I just can't wait to just see that picture in that set, that arena, and you've got all 32 players there. You've got Shane Van Boening in the centre, and it's just all of a sudden, and we've got a 2-day event of 32 players. I mean, I'm very, very excited, and I'm really intrigued to see how it's going to pan out, you know, how long the matches are going to be. It's obviously just a different kind of event, and we don't know where this is going to go. Like you said, it's year one. We're going to see what's happening. And personally, from a Matchroom perspective, I can't think of anyone else that would want to partner with for this. So it is really exciting.
After all the comments from yesterday, do you think it would be a bigger event next year?
I would love to say yes. The only thing that frightens the hell out of me is how much things cost.
Well, that's something. It's something that we have to work on for next year.
Listen, 100%. It kills me looking at the comments and, you know, what we don't want to do. And it's okay that the US Open, the European Open, the UK Open, it's a 256 player field. And it's okay that sells out in 13 minutes because there's enough spaces to go around. But it really breaks my heart to think that junior players are going to, you know, lose out on this really good opportunity, and that there's only 32 spots that we can give them. But again, if it's that option or not doing the event at all, I know what one that we would go with. But like we say, everything that we do at Matchroom, we have to be 110% certain that we can deliver, and that also it's just not a rushed. You know, these juniors should be participating in a professional tournament and one of Matchroom standards, and I want to be sure that we can deliver that. So capping it at 32 players ensures that we can give them this opportunity. We can make sure that it's covered in a television coverage, and we can give them the coverage that they deserve. So let's roll with it. Let's see what happens at year one. If we do not increase it next year, then I'll quit, because that's what we should be doing. We should be increasing these things. So let's have an idea. We roll with it. We see what works, and we'll see how it goes. But I don't want to say it's $10,000 prize money for 32 players and then increase it and keep the prize money. That's not how it works. So I got
a feeling it'll be bigger next year, and then we're gonna definitely get more sponsored for next year as well.
Well, Shane said it here, guys. So if it doesn't happen, it means that he's not delivered on his sponsorship side. Look, it's really, really exciting. And, you know, I've already spoken about what the fans can expect. So all I can say is that all of a sudden now we're looking at things like vendors for our open events. If you are a vendor, you do not have to pay a fee to be at the US Open. You know, you don't have to pay anything above than a normal sort of deposit to just ensure that you're going to be there. And if you're starting to apply for like, I need all of this power and lights and stuff like that, then you're going to have to pay for it. But what we're trying to do for the US Open is this big festival of pool. And that's what we've been trying to preach for a good few years. Obviously, you know, we've been doing events and we've launched rankings and there's a lot of stuff happening. And again, we don't like to say we're doing something and not follow through with it. So this year, if you're thinking about coming to the US Open, expect the actual US Open event. You got Shane Van Boening playing. Then you expect on the 13th of October, the Junior Open, SVB Junior Open is going to start. And you've got 32 junior players all participating in this event. You've also got the vendors. So it's going to be a week. We've got a special code on for the hotels for Harrah's. So if now's the time to book all your stuff up, because it's a good code right now before it sells out. So that's what you can expect. Shane's super excited. We have to, you know, it's going to be interesting to see if his match is playing the same time that the junior final is on or something, to see whether you're sort of sitting there in between the racks looking over. But look, we're really excited here at Matchroom, and we've been working on this for a while. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who is involved, who've made this happen, and especially to Shane, to you, because you believed in us and you trust us, and it's
Absolutely.
really an honor to watch this happen and partner with you on this.
Yes.
So that's a little bit on the SVB Junior Open. Shane, talk me through European Open. We've introduced the new break format. We did at the World Cup pool, we did actually put up a bit of a whiteboard. I may post the picture later as you know, behind the scenes of what happened, of players' input really into the break format for the European Open. So have you been practicing this new break, 9 on the spot, break box?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your thoughts on it?
It's actually tougher. You know, all the professional players want to make the game more tougher and just add a little bit more of a discipline into the game. You know, if you put it 1 on the spot, it should make it easier for everybody to break and run. By doing this, you know, the break and run percentage is going to be lower than the 1 on the spot. So that's just what the players want, and we're just going to try it and see what happens.
Well, certainly from a Matchroom perspective, I think we looked at this and said, and a few of the players actually came to us and said, well, what do you want, Emily? What do you want out of this? And from our side, we want to produce the truest champion in pool. So we want to make it the toughest conditions and it to be consistent. We want it to be tough, and we want to produce the best player. So for us, we don't want to see, you know, it's not about all of the break and runs anymore. If you are break and running, it should be that you've done it and that you're talented and that you've done that because you're skillful at that. And it should be more impressive to have a break, to have these break and runs. Then all of a sudden you can look at prizes. So then all of a sudden we have the pools version of the 147, of the 9 data, because right now we don't really have that in pool. So let's develop, look, we're just going to see what happens with the European Open. Then maybe we'll adjust it to the US Open. We could be overrunning massively and we have to pull back the reins and change it. So it's going to be interesting.
I'm actually looking forward to see what happens at the European Open and see what the players' feedback is.
Yeah, and most importantly, I think for us, is actually watching the back tables, seeing how the games are being produced there and how the matches are. So that will be very interesting to see. What sort of prep have you got leading into the European Open, Shane?
Well, I hadn't been in Germany for probably 12 years, so I'm looking forward to get back in Germany. This is where my family, like my great-great-grandparents are from.
No, I didn't know that.
That's where I got my last name from. So a lot of people don't know about this, but yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to come back into Germany.
Cool. Well, it's the 9th to the 14th of August. The European Open is in Fulda, Hotel Esperanto. literally you can get tickets as cheap as only €15. It is an absolute bargain. We've got so many vendors at this event. There's so many in the foyer leading into it. So just picture it, everything happening. Like we've picked up the UK Open, planted it in at the Hotel Esperanto. So we're really excited about this one. I think it's going to be an interesting one. It's also going to be the first of our new expansion into the to other countries. We're trying to take the pool out of the UK, keep the UK Open here, keep the Moscone Cup here, and potentially look at new territories.
How many players do you have for European Open?
We've got, well, we had 256. We had a few withdrawals. So we had about 8 spots that got sent to that link, got sent to the waiting list as a first come, first serve. That link got sent out to all of them. So we're full on 256. So that's how we kind of do it on the withdrawals. So we'll wait for a few to come through. Then we send the link to the waiting list and it's first come, first serve. So we are 256. It is quite scary.
That's awesome.
It is really good. I think it's starting to show what we can sort of progress to and how we can move forward with these events. So we're going to be announcing the full player list and the seeding very shortly. And we will be doing the draw as well for this, I believe, next week. So players will know who they're playing. And we've also looked at the format slightly so that not all of the round 1 matches are played on day 1. We had a little bit of feedback from the likes of Jeremy Jones, who obviously his opinion we have a lot of trust in, who mentioned about when you play on day 1, if you win, you want to play again as a player's perspective, instead of waiting around all day to sort of play again for the next day. So that's something that we're looking into for the format as well. And it's just something we're trying to make sure that we get it sorted before we actually go ahead with it. So that's going to be exciting. We're going to be producing a how to watch it. First 4 days is going to be on Matchroom Pool, YouTube and Facebook, and Matchroom Live. Then the final 2 days, the last 16, will be on DAZN, obviously in the different territories that we have, Sky Sports in the UK here, Viaplay, across all of our other territories as well, and a full broadcast list will be distributed. So as you can see, it's trying to get a bit consistent with how we're producing our events now. So I would encourage, that's it on the European Open. If you've got any questions or anything for Shane, get them in, because he is telling you all of his secrets today. I don't know why. All of this last name, Van Boening to German. I think you've told me that story before. You just come out with these little one-liners. So yes, there's lots to do, and I believe a question has come through. So Shane, one for you. Who do you think will be the other 3 players with you and Skylar on the Moscone Cup team? He's put Go USA. Now that's very presumptuous that it's going to be you and Skylar. I mean, you are the world #1, but
well, it's going to be tough because there's a few players that are in the mix, and it all depends on the European Open and the US Open as well. So it's a tough call.
That is a very sitting on the fence answer, Shane.
I'm trying to be neutral with all the US players, so that's just part of my game. I gotta be neutral.
Okay, that's fine. You know what? I respect that. Okay, much easier question for you, Shane. How does it feel to be the world champion?
Well, let's just go back. It took me 19 years to win the world championship. After 2 fails in 2016 and 2017, when I lost to Copini, I thought I was going to win the world championship at that time when I played Copini. I just made a mistake when I had the lead, and Kopini ended up winning the tournament. And then I came back next year, got in the finals, and lost to Alvin. And Alvin played perfect pool, and there's not much I can do there. And then as time goes, it just get tougher when you get older. It's gonna get tougher to win the world championship, and winning the world championship is out. It's always going to be a tough tournament to win, especially with all the young talent today that are not missing the ball. Um, but for today, after winning the world championship, there's been a couple times where I woke up in the morning and couldn't believe I won the world championship. To be honest, and I'm really happy to be known as champion of the world.
Can I just say, not only was that a world champion answer, but to actually recognize, for someone to turn around, Shane, for you to say I failed twice and to recognize any mistakes is just an absolute champion answer, because that's why you're in this position. You look at it and you say, well, I failed twice. No other person would really look at that and go, I failed. But you come back, you look at that and you go, well, I made a mistake here. You understand what's happening in the world. The younger guys are coming in and things like that. But it's I just think that is why you are how you are, and why you're a champion. I just think that answer just absolutely blew me away.
People don't realize how tough the game is today, because there's a lot of young talents out there like Josh Filler and a couple Polish kids, and there's young talent that's just not missing the ball today, and that's a little bit scary, you know. But I do know they look up to me, and they're afraid to play me,
Of
and
course.
I still got my game there, and I'm working hard, and I've been working out a lot, and still working on the pool table, and I'm feeling pretty good, feeling that I have confidence in my game, and I believe that's why I won the world championship. So
Can I just say that anyone who is watching this that is like an amateur player or is just starting to get into the tour and can find things scary, you heard it first that Shane Van Boening will admit a situation like this. And I just think that's totally commendable. The fact that you would sit here and go, you know what, it is a bit scary, but can I just say you are Shane Van bloody Boening, and you are relentless. You have this drive, and that is why you are world champion. So it is, I just think that that's brilliant for anyone who's starting out in the tour, anyone who finds it a bit nervous or scary at times. Listen to that, because that is very motivational, and it's really great to hear that attitude of it, Shane. It's quite interesting.
yeah. All you have to do is try your best and work hard.
So what's
That's
your
all you can do.
favorite thing? What's your favorite thing about being a pro player? That's from Dakota Tabor.
Favorite favorite thing about being a
professional
professional.
pool player.
My favorite thing about being a professional pool player is what the game had given me. As an example, that I can travel the world, see different cultures, see different pool players all over the world. Um, there's a lot of things about pool that people don't realize. I think it's a gift, to be honest, and it's it's like when I was younger, when I was probably 19, 20 years old, I wanted to be a professional pool player, but I didn't know for sure what the game is gonna give me. And like I said, it gave me the talent to go play around the world, see different cultures, and just see a lot of things in pool. And most of all, it's just seeing different personality on the table. You got different personalities like Earl Strickland, Josh Filler. You got Efren Reyes that doesn't even speak much. There's just so many talented pool players all over the world, and that's that's what's so beautiful about the game.
And what was it that 19 years ago that you're saying where you didn't know what you were going to get out of the game? What was it that just pushed you over that mark to just take a chance with Paul?
Like I said, when I watched Earl Strickland and Francisco Bustamante play on ESPN that day, and I looked at the TV and I said, yeah, this is what I want to do. And I never looked back. I should put in the work, put in all the work, and never give up.
And I think that is what's key to some of these junior players that are tuning in now to this podcast, to you playing on the Matchroom stage, is that they're saying, I want to do that. But what we have to do is create a journey in order for them to actually make that possible.
Yes,
so
I agree.
And that is why we created the SVB Junior Open.
Yeah. Yep.
So, Shane, another question that's come through. What is your next goal achievement you are looking for?
My next goal, well, after I won the World Championship, that was my last goal to win, to achieve, and mission accomplished there. So I'm actually happy to be tied with Earl Strickland's record, 5 U.S. Opens, and that'll be my last goal, to win 6 U.S. Opens.
Well, you heard it here first, guys. And the most important question we've had, Shane, from Bob Thompson: when are you going to take me ice fishing?
Oh, well, that's up to you if you can handle the cold.
I don't think so. I'm not sure. I've got these kind of nails here. I don't know if I can do bait onto that. I mean, I'm all up for trying new things. I tried archery at the weekend.
Absolutely.
So when I'm next in America, maybe. I do find it very fascinating. And I kind of imagine it's very relaxing. If you're stressed out or anything like that, like I go outside for a run, and I know Earl Strickland has spoken about that before. He likes to go out for a run to just chill out. Do you find, is that your kind of chill version, ice fishing?
Yeah, it's actually a beautiful place, and it's relaxing. There's nobody on the ice. There's hardly anybody on the ice, and you just got the whole lake to yourself, pretty much. So it's a great hobby, I think, and you just have to try it out and see what you think.
Okay, well, I won't keep you for too much longer, Shane. I appreciate your time. We've been through the Junior Open, the European Open. We've got the US Open coming up. That's the 10th to the 15th, obviously, of October. I encourage everyone to get your ticket because this is going to be a very exciting week of pool. Shane, any last thing that you can say just to sum up your feelings on the SVB Junior Open, and a note to any of the juniors out there?
Well, after reading all the comments yesterday, I'm very humbled and honored to have this event. And whatever happened this year, whoever's the champion this year, just want to say thank you for coming to play, and looking forward to make it better next year, whatever happens. So, and thank you to all the fans for support.
Well, he's already busting our ass on making it a higher player field. So at least you know that Shane Van Boening is doing it for the fans, doing it for the juniors, and he is definitely fighting all of your corners because, like I said, last night he was texting me saying, let's make it 128 field. So this guy, oh my gosh, he's going to give me a heart attack. But thank you everyone for joining in. Look, the SVB Junior Open entries open this Friday. It's 1 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you set your reminders, please, please, please. I know it's hard seeing it's 32 players, but look, this is the first time this is happening, a co-promotion between Matchroom and the one and only Shane Van Boening. So let's not run before we can walk. We got 32 players. This is going to be super exciting, guys. So entries on Friday, and then we're going to follow with all of the tournament information. So, and the next time you're going to see Shane Van Boening is at the European Open, the 9th of August, in Fulda. So thank you, everyone. Appreciate it a lot. And Shane, thank you as ever. And see you in Germany.
Yep, I'll see you there.
All right. Thank you, everyone.